Thank you, everyone, for coming today. I'm State Senator Steve McClure, and I represent the 50th District. And before I was a state senator, I was the head of the juvenile division here in Sangamon County, so I used to deal with DCFS cases all the time. I never was in the field, but I have helped at the UIS training, and I was personally confronted just as a prosecutor by a parent whose children we took away from him when I had an apartment downtown. So, but we're going to have several speakers today that are going to talk about this legislation that we have proposed. And I think it's important to note that DCFS investigators perform an incredibly important service advocating for and protecting the vulnerable children and families of our state. And it is truly tragic that so many DCFS employees have faced and continue to face threats every day. These workers need to be able to do their jobs. Pepper spray or mace are commonly used defensive items that many people choose to carry every day all across this state, and it's perfectly legal for them to carry it. DCFS employees currently are not allowed this same right while they are on the job. This bill will end that prohibition and make sure employees who choose to carry pepper spray know how to do it safely. There is no way to absolutely guarantee the safety of DCFS employees, but this will offer them an additional and important tool. And this is an idea that was suggested to us by current and former employees, and we believe this is a very reasonable proposal. So with that, I would like to introduce Representative Sandy Hamilton.
Thank you, Senator McClure. Again, my name is Sandy Hamilton, State Representative for District 99. To me, this is a sad reason that we are up at this podium today. To make a law to protect our state workers and to get them out into the field and be protected when they're doing their job. And I talked to Senator McClure about this a couple days ago and said, you know, in my profession, and I'm not trying to compare similar situations, but in my profession, going out in the real estate world, in the field, and showing a vacant house and not being able to be protected, I have on several occasions carried mace under my armpit, in my pocket, because it is scary out there, and especially when you're going into and knocking on a door and you don't know what is behind that door. So we are here today to hopefully pass this bill along with Senator McClure and other colleagues in the House and in the Senate to pass this bill to protect our state workers. They deserve this, and this is their right to be protected. Thank you for having me, and please, let's pass this bill. I would like to pass the microphone to Gail Hopper.
Thank you for sponsoring this bill and supporting this bill. My name is Gail Hopper, and I am a retiree from the Department of Children and Family Services. I've worked for 23 years for the department and held many positions, including frontline positions. I'm here today to advocate for improved safety measures and protocols for DCFS frontline staff. DCFS staff are committed, hardworking professionals that work tirelessly to protect the children of Illinois, no matter what those circumstances are that are presented to them. This bill provides a safety tool not currently available to DCFS frontline staff should they encounter dangerous and possibly life-threatening situations while doing their job. I stand with Illinois Child Protection today to remember and say the names of Pam Knight and Deidre Silas, who gave their lives in the line of duty serving and protecting the children and the families of Illinois. This bill is a swift and immediate first step in which must be an ongoing process to improve on-the-job safety for Illinois DCFS frontline staff. Thank you. Donna Large.
How do you spell Gail and how do you spell Hopper?
Gail, Gayle, Hopper, Hopper.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Good morning, everyone. My name is Donna Large. I am also a retiree from the Department of Children and Family Services. I spent nearly 30 years of my career working in a variety of roles, to include direct service, working directly with children and families. I was the chief of policy for several years, and I retired as the administrator of the hotline. I bring a lot of experience and knowledge to this topic that is so critical to us being able to protect children. So I really appreciate the opportunity to speak today. The time to adequately address the safety of child welfare workers is far overdue. We issue staff phones and laptops to do their jobs. A self-defense tool such as mace or pepper spray, that's just another tool. It's as essential as those phones and those laptops. Most importantly, though, we want to stress that it's only one tool. It is not the complete solution to ensuring child worker safety and child welfare. DCFS and private agency staff receive comprehensive training in engagement and assessment. The most experienced of us are very good at using our clinical skills to de-escalate a situation. This ability diminishes significantly the less experienced and skilled the worker is. And with the shortages in staff, with the a lot of folks not wanting to go into the field of child welfare, you're getting a lot of younger workers who don't have the skill set necessary to de-escalate a very violent situation. While MACE doesn't resolve all of the issues of safety, it can provide a worker with a chance to escape a volatile situation. It's a tangible, immediate resource for them to use. You know, we walk into situations where we may be faced with someone struggling severely with a mental health issue that they cannot interact with us coherently. They are struggling so bad, or a raging meth user with a weapon. That mace and the ability to carry that and use that with proper training could give us just the 5 or 10 seconds we may need in order to escape that situation and then go back when we can be safer and serve that family. I just want to say that I appreciate the senators and the representatives proposing this bill and supporting this bill because it's important. Passage is essential, and the decisiveness for this action to happen now is clear. It has to happen now so that we have an immediate action to ensure the safety of workers in the field. Thank you. And Representative Tony McConnie.
That's 2 N's, Indiana, and large is like big?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Spelling counts.
Good morning, everybody. Tony McCombie, State Representative from District 71. This is not the first time, the second time, the third time, or the fourth time I've sat at this podium and talked about this issue. We've been doing this, I've been doing this since Pam Knight was brutally beaten and murdered in my district. And we are long overdue to actually bring forth legislation that is going to hopefully protect our DCFS caseworkers who are putting their lives at risk to serve our most vulnerable families. Concerning DCFS caseworkers, there are a lot of proposals being talked about right now. We were just talking about some on the way down here, whether they're buddy systems for training purposes. DCFS has a bill that has been brought forward for them to activate their law enforcement capabilities. I have a bill for DCFS caseworkers to allow for them to conceal carry. Pretty big bill, and I'm not sure if it's even something that they want, but we have to give them something to have a tool when they're out knocking on these doors, protecting us. Whether it's a different radio system, I think that's something that we can learn from our local law enforcement now. Today I stand in support of Senator McClure's bill that's actually taking action and putting this down into paper. We need to give them this tool because I believe in both cases with Pam and with Deidre, those seconds would have changed the outcome. Government's number one goal is to protect Illinoisans, and this administration is failing on many levels. DCFS workers are walking into emotional and volatile situations, and they must have support. There's been a lot of talk about, since the brutal beating and the murder of Pam, but there's been very few corrective actions actually put in place. Supporting our DCFS workers does not just mean attending their funerals. It means doing everything within our power to make sure those funerals never happen in the first place. Now I'd like to introduce Senator Sally Turner.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here today. And I'm proud to be a chief co-sponsor of the bill 4165, along with my friend and coworker, Steve McClure. At first, I just want to say, today we're here to not only mourn the deaths of Pam and Deidre, but also to take action. If they just would have had one moment to help them to escape, this is what we're here for, just to offer that one moment. We also want to make sure that employees know how to safely carry and use pepper spray. This bill requires the Illinois State Police to develop a training program for the DCFS staff. We accept a simple and straightforward program offered from the state police, and the cost of the program would be minimal. But as the appropriation process moves forward, we're happy to work to make sure that the state police has ample resources to cover that. AFSCME is supportive of this bill, and I've been told that state police has no issues as well. While these bills were filed after the deadline, we're planning to file identical legislation on these shell bills.